The wedding hashtag was trending nationwide before midnight. Influencers reposted clips of the crystal chandeliers, the imported roses, the couture gown that shimmered under rooftop lights. By sunrise, thousands of strangers had called Amara and Tunde the blueprint. It looked like the kind of city love story people screenshot for vision boards. What nobody saw, what nobody could see, was the bank alert that quietly settled the honeymoon bill hours before the couple boarded their flight. Amara met Tunde 2 years earlier at a tech networking event in Lagos. She was sharp, articulate, and intimidating in the best way. She built financial models in her head the way other people built playlists. Tunde was charming, strategic, already positioning himself as a rising force in the startup space. They connected over ambition first, attraction second. Late nights at co-working spaces turned into shared rides home. Shared rides turned into shared plans. They spoke about equity, legacy, property ownership. It felt modern, equal, intentional. Amara believed in partnership, not dependency. She had watched too many brilliant women shrink inside impressive marriages. So when Tunde proposed, on a rooftop overlooking the Atlantic, fireworks exploding behind them, her yes came with conditions: transparency, joint decisions, shared financial responsibility. Tunde agreed easily. Too easily, maybe, but at the time, it felt like alignment. What Amara did not know was that while she and Tunde were building a future in spreadsheets, another woman was financing his present in silence. Zara was an influencer with a polished feed and a carefully curated soft life. Luxury brunches, brand trips, designer unboxings. She and Tunde had met months before the proposal at a private launch event. What started as flirtation evolved into an arrangement neither of them named directly. Tunde called it support during a tight phase. Zara called it investing in potential. She paid for a short-term apartment when his cash flow dipped. She covered a business class ticket for a conference. She sent transfers when he said investor funds were delayed. When Tunde proposed to Amara, he told Zara it was strategic. He said, "She's stable. It's good for my image. But you and I, we understand each other." Zara didn't argue. She had already paid too much to walk away easily. Pride can be expensive when you funded someone else's promises. The wedding planning moved quickly. Amara split vendor payments without hesitation. She handled contracts herself, negotiating down inflated quotes with cool precision. Tunde praised her intelligence publicly. Privately, he juggled notifications. When deposits were due and his liquidity tightened, Zara's platinum card filled the gaps. The honeymoon villa in the Maldives, 5 nights, oceanfront, private butler, was charged in installments to Zara. She told herself it was the last time, just one final gesture before she demanded clarity. The wedding day arrived like a fashion editorial. Drone shots circled the skyline. Guests wore custom outfits in coordinated earth tones. The pastor spoke about destiny and divine alignment. Amara glowed, not because of makeup, but because she believed she had chosen wisely. Tunde squeezed her hands during the vows with convincing tenderness. Cameras flashed, hashtags climbed, "Black love wins," someone tweeted. Zara watched everything from her apartment balcony, the city buzzing below her. She didn't cry. She reviewed her banking app instead. The final honeymoon installment had processed successfully. She stared at the confirmation screen for a long time. How do you explain to yourself that you financed another woman's fairy tale? The first morning in the Maldives was postcard perfect. Turquoise water, white linen curtains floating in the breeze. Amara reached for Tunde's phone absent-mindedly when it buzzed on the bedside table. She wasn't suspicious, just playful. But the preview notification froze her. Final installment received. Enjoy your honeymoon. Installment? Tunde's reaction was immediate and clumsy. He grabbed the phone too quickly, laughed too loudly. Business stuff, he said. But Amara had built her career reading between financial lines. She asked calmly, "Installment from who?" Silence stretched longer than it should have. When he finally spoke, The confession came in fragments. It was just help before the wedding, nothing serious. But serious is a relative word. Late-night emojis surfaced when she scrolled, travel receipts, transfers labeled with inside jokes, emotional intimacy hidden inside transaction history. Was our wedding ever ours? Amara asked quietly. Tunde had no structured answer for that, only excuses that collapsed under their own contradictions. Back in Lagos, instead of exploding publicly, Amara did something unexpected. She called Zara directly. No insults, no shouting, just clarity, woman to woman. Zara hesitated, then told the truth. Every payment, every promise Tunde made about temporary decisions, every reassurance that she, Zara, was the one who truly understood him. The humiliation was sharp, but so was the relief. Secrets lose power when exposed to daylight. Amara didn't scream. She didn't post cryptic captions. She cancelled the remaining honeymoon nights and flew home early. On the flight, she drafted a list, not of revenge plans, but of questions: asset ownership, debt exposure, hidden liabilities. Marriage, she realized, is not sustained by romance. It is structured by transparency. Once home, she requested full financial disclosure, this time not as a fiancé in love, but as a wife protecting her legal and emotional equity. The numbers told a clearer story than Tunde ever had. Designer gifts billed discreetly, ride receipts at odd hours, rent payments for an apartment she had never visited. The betrayal hurt, but the manipulation angered her more. Not the existence of another woman, the assumption that she would never audit the truth. Tunde begged for discretion. His brand partnerships were growing, reputation mattered. Amara agreed on one condition: honesty in private, dignity in public. She refused to become content for gossip blogs. Zara, on her end, ended everything. Blocking him felt less dramatic than expected. It felt clinical. She redirected her energy into her platform, this time speaking openly about financial boundaries and blurred arrangements. Ironically, brands approached her for campaigns about independence and self-worth. Pain, when processed, can reposition you. Amara chose separation months later, not in anger, but in clarity. There was no explosive confrontation, just a structured exit. She kept every asset she funded. She ensured legal fairness. She moved into a new apartment overlooking the same city skyline, but this time without illusion. Months after the wedding trended, Amara hosted a finance workshop for young professional women. The room was full. Heels clicked against marble floors. Laptops opened. She spoke about joint accounts, hidden debts, and silent sponsors. Romance is beautiful, she said, steady and composed. But transparency is protection. Betrayal rarely starts in the bedroom. It starts in the budget. A clip from the workshop circulated online. Tunde saw it. So did Zara. The comments weren't cruel, they were reflective. People recognized themselves in the story, in the soft compromises, in the quiet financial imbalances disguised as love. The wedding photos still exist online. Perfect lighting, perfect smiles, but the truth outlived the hashtag. In a city obsessed with appearances, Amara learned that independence isn't pride, it's insulation. And love, if it's real, should never require a hidden investor. Because in modern urban marriages, transparency isn't optional. It's the real luxury.